Just no good. What am I talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about. We got 4 of the best guests coming in for you tonight to look at these letters and talk about that thing that I was saying was no good. Lolly wrappers made of plastic, that's another thing. And they're going to be talking about these issues. How do you split the bill when you're out with family and friends? Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? You pay for yourself. Well, really? You always get caught with something, don't you? This letter writer does. I only found out a couple of months ago that my missus had an affair with our 7-year-old twins' swimming instructor. Ah, yeah, a little bit of sauce tonight. And finally, these responsible dog owners do not extend the same responsibility to themselves. That's what we're talking about. They don't, do they? Rubbish everywhere, but they pick up the poo. Panellists in right now, don't go away. Grab a coffee, sweet and sour.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar in there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a terrific load of panellists. But before I introduce them, can I say a wonderful happy birthday to my beautiful mum and her beautiful twin sister. That's Anne Mitchell and Jessie Zempelis, OAM no less, who are turning 90 tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Love you lots.
Mummy.
Yeah, thank you. First up tonight, my mate, we've waited so long to nail him down. The gut doctor is in the house. Hello, Dr Dingle, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see
Thank
you,
you. It's
sir.
great to be back.
I've missed you. Everyone's missed you because they all text and say, when's the doc in? I've got a million questions and not one of these are related to you tonight.
I'll just make up the answers. It's all right.
You've been on tour everywhere.
Yeah. We basically do at the moment about 100 talks a year around the country.
That is sensational.
Yeah, I know. It's so. I mean, I don't know about but look, it's great fun. We get to see.
Thank you for squeezing us in today.
We get to see all of Australia, and then we come back for a nice rest.
Is this the rest period?
This is the rest period.
Okay.
It's rest, right, and plan the next one.
Rest, right, and plan the next. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. Hello, Louane.
Hi.
You went to the beach yesterday.
I went to the beach yesterday. Yes, I did. I actually got out of bed. It was good.
Did you get some vitamin D?
I did.
Did the doc tick your box on
Yeah.
that one?
Excuse me?
Nice to have you, Louane. Did you get to the beach
This is
yesterday?
just a rumour, okay?
Yeah, I did actually.
Nice to have you here, darling. How are you? Now that you've got more time, because you're not on the
I've got heaps of time.
Roto board, how's the world of architecture?
Oh, it's pretty tough right now. It's a pretty tough market right now.
It's tough everywhere.
It's a tough, what is it, a recession of the generation.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
speaking of the market, hello, Harry.
Cool.
You got any good news for us?
I just think we're going to see interest rates still stay pretty low up until Christmas, and then hopefully the new year will bring some new opportunities
Yeah,
for
but
everybody.
That's great, except the banks don't let you have any money anyway.
Oh no, the banks let you have money, you just got to meet their criteria.
What about this trade war that
Gotta
Mr.
tick the
Trump's
box.
making?
Yeah.
Can that be a good thing in any way?
Look, I think the China-US trade war definitely, and then tariffs that are going back and forward is going to cause a bit of heat. But you're dealing with, global things. We're always going to have a knock-on effect, always.
Knock on.
Always. There we go.
Dear panellists, can each of you please tell me how to split the bill when you go out with family or friends, please? It seems like I'm forever subsidising others. I don't drink, and I'm a small eater, ordering only one course when all the others get sloshed and order 2 courses. I don't want to be the stick in the mud and not go out with everyone because I love the company, but I'm the fall guy on every bill, every single outing. What are the rules? How do I change things without offending anyone? I don't want to be seen as stingy either. I can't see how after all this time of paying out and not saying anything I would be. There is always someone who also doesn't put in his or her full amount in too, and if I'm the one collecting at the end, I have to put in the balance. I'm sick of being taken for a ride. Please let me know what to do here, panellist Nelson of Port Adelaide in South Australia. Suzie, have you ever been stuck with the bill?
Oh, all the time. But you know, that's
Did you
part
write this
of it.
in?
No, because I drink and eat. Look, I have to say to Nelson, it's a bit of a hard one, But I really wonder whether he actually likes his friends, and maybe his friends aren't the people he should be going out with dinner with if he's not eating and he doesn't drink. So that's the first thing. But also, if you've got good mates and you love the company, sometimes you're paying for the company, and I think maybe go and have a chat to your friends. But I have had friends in the past who are really stingy, and it's a tough gig.
But you know they're stingy, so...
I know.
So you'll know how to divide the bill. You only had that, mate, is that right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So I think his friends are probably not even aware of what his feelings are.
They're
so
not
maybe you should
aware.
have a chat to him.
I wouldn't, you know, when you go out for dinner, I don't sit there and go, oh, he only paid that amount. They don't know, mate.
But I saw something recently that there's a group starting in Sydney, and it might even be in Adelaide, where people who don't drink go out and have dinners, and they do all this amazing stuff together.
Oh, imagine how boring those get-togethers would be.
That's not true.
Oh, Harry,
That's
are
not
you a
true.
drinker?
I have been known to have the odd drink. I do like a bubbly bottle of champagne, that's for sure. But
what we
I would apply the lotto tactic here. Basically, get everybody there and say, listen, it's going to be $60 a head tonight. So everybody put in $60 each, and whatever the bill comes to, the $60 should possibly cover it. If it doesn't, then increase the amount, and then the balance, go and buy a lotto ticket for the whole group. And if you win, then you can go out and have a really good party.
Smart. Good advice.
That's it.
Dr Dingle.
No, he wants to be the fall guy.
He wants to be.
He's trying to please. He's trying to please. Get off it. What you've got to do is actually just, you know what? If you've got real friends, they will appreciate your honesty. And just say, look,
Exactly.
guys, and I don't like the lotto one because this guy's still going to be putting in 60 and, you know,
and he's eating 20.
He's not eating. And yeah, so my message is stop putting your hand up to say, I'll pay at the end, and say, here's my $20 on the table. Who's covered? Let's fix it up.
Yeah, you
Just
worry
be
about
open.
what your mates are thinking.
Yeah, and
They don't
mates-
think,
there's
they
no
don't
issue.
think ill of you. They don't want to take advantage of you. Maybe they do.
Maybe they don't want him to come to dinner because he's boring.
Well, at least he's got a lot of money.
They're
Bring
actually
the
going,
bring the
yeah.
money.
Lou, final word on this one.
Look, it's
This is a
true.
relationship issue.
Yeah, well, it is. And you have an onus of responsibility in a relationship to open your mouth and communicate what it is that is a
You don't
perceived
like.
problem to you. So if it's a problem to you that you're left paying more, don't do it. But don't be a martyr and complain about it when
Exactly.
nobody's aware of it. So just say, hey, freeloaders, I'm not paying for you.
Don't be a martyr.
It's easy. Communicate.
We asked our viewers at home to answer this question for us that we put online. When you split the restaurant bill with friends, are you happy to contribute for things that you haven't had? And here we go. 58% of you said, yeah, happy to. 42% of you are the stingy bastards in this world. There you go. 42% of you should open your mouth and say, I'm not happy, and then you'll be sitting very happily with the rest of your mates. When we come back, we're going to be talking about exit planning, how to get out of a marriage, or how not to get out of a marriage, or whether you've got it all planned and you've had it planned for 6 months, and, you know, when we come back, more of Sweet and Sour. See you then. Who had an exit strategy?
Well,
Sweet and sour. Pour some sugar on there, baby. It's time for sweet and sour. How's about some chili? It's time for sweet and sour.
You know the bloke who sings that?
no.
If you'd like to send us a letter to Sweet and Sour, send it to one of these social media contact points appearing on your screen right now. So there's no excuse to get your little issue into us. There's all those avenues, and for everyone that does land here, and we read, we're going to send you to the movies courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications, and the movie we're sending you to this week is Nightingale. We've been running that for about 3 weeks now. I've not seen it. Has anybody else seen it? No? Okay. Apparently it's fantastic. Here we go. My missus and I have been married for 14 years. We went through a time where she just moved out for a while. I found out only a couple of months ago that she had an affair with our 7-year-old twin son's swimming instructor at the time. When she moved out, it made me instantly realise how much I love her and that I hadn't put enough time into the marriage. So, in the last year, I've focused on nothing else except putting my marriage back together. Eventually, my wife agreed to move back into the house, which was great for the twins. He doesn't say great for him though, does he? She continues now, however, to take them to swimming lessons with the same instructor that she had the affair with, always assuring me that he's gone back to his girlfriend and nothing is going on. All that aside, the other day when I came home, she was talking on the phone to my best mate's wife. I didn't know who she was talking to at the time, and she didn't know I was at home, but I overheard her say, "Of course I'm going to leave him. I've been working on my exit strategy." I walked out of the room before she knew I was there, bewildered with what to do. The next day, my best mate shared with me that conversation his wife had with mine. I was so embarrassed, but he said it was normal and that women always have plan B before they leave, otherwise they just don't leave. Panellists, help. Do women always have a plan B ready? And more importantly, should I simply confront her with the revelation or just leave? Barry of Kensington of New South Wales, and if the missus is watching tonight, Barry, you've already spilled the beans, mate. There you go. First up, Harry.
Cool. Well, I think that you need to have the crucial conversation with the wife and find out what is actually going on. I think that, you know, this is all good that you've got these hearsay conversations. Unless the person that you spoke to is prepared to say, yes, this is what he heard or this is what was told, it's all probability conversations. I think you just need to sit down, have the bottom line chat with her and say, what are your intentions? Do you want to stay? Do you want to make this work? Or if you don't want to make it work and you do want to go, then let's work on a plan together where we can both go our separate ways.
Suzie, she's still going to swimming lessons with the bloke she had an affair with. How thick is this bloke?
Okay, so the reality of this, as a mother of multiples, it's
You've got
really
twins.
tough gear. I've got twins. And I would want to say to you that, Barry, when you said your wife came back, it was great for the twins. That to me says so much. The fact is, your wife, when you have multiples, you never get a minute by yourself. Yep. And so your wife is looking for some escape, and you're saying, oh, come back, I love you. Oh, isn't that great for the twins? You haven't actually got it. So if I was you, I'd not be worrying about eavesdropping. I'd be going quick sticks for the counsellor and learning how to speak to your wife and talk to her, and that's going to make you a better husband, a lover and partner for this wife or a future partner.
Do you reckon the swimming instructor was helping out with the twins, do you?
You know what? If someone pays your attention when you've had multiples, it is really tough. I've had 2 singles and a multiple, and I tell you, it's really tough. You lose your full identity. It's full on, and
My mum's a twin.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Well, she's probably beautiful, but she wasn't
is
her
beautiful.
mother. She wasn't her mother.
Yeah.
No, but
It's tough.
they were
kids.
different times. In 1929, when they were born, they were going through the Great Depression. That came
But they
soon
also
after
have
that. But
family support. We don't
Huge
have
family support.
anymore,
Huge.
and it's tough. And so I would be going to a counsellor.
Little Greek Island. Then they came out here, and they had sons that went on TV and chatted about twins. What's going on here?
Okay. Well, yes, the answer to the question is people always have a plan B.
People always have a plan B?
Of course they do. Either the male has a plan B or the female has a plan B, and that doesn't not necessarily come in the shape of another person. But nobody just says, oh wow, I think I might just leave and I've got no idea what the hell I'm going to do. I'm just going to
When do you conceive of that plan B?
Some people will start it as soon as they're not happy.
As soon as they're not happy?
They try to get happy. If you're not having your values filled, you're going to look elsewhere to have your values filled, and that is the plain reality of it. A man won't leave a marriage unless he has a good reason, and a woman won't either. So you either work on the marriage and both decide that you want to be in it.
So it's got nothing to do with the sex. It's not women, it's not men. It's everybody has a plan B at some point in time when you need to have a plan.
And then when people say, oh, I didn't see that coming, it's like, you didn't see it coming, we haven't been talking, we haven't been, making love, we're not having any fun together, we're not laughing, and you didn't see it coming.
Which is pretty normal,
but
Louane,
not
when you've got twins.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal. You're just exhausted.
You're just exhausted.
You're just
so
exhausted.
You don't giggle, you don't...
No, so you need
Imagine those
someone
pa-
to actually pay attention to you, and it's hard for the guy as well. It really is.
What would
So-
happen if you had triplets?
Well, I nearly did. I had 17
women.
months, and then I had twins. So it was like triplets. It's tough
Oh! No wonder you sit on this show.
gig. I know. That's why I'm divorced.
More qualifications. Very good. The doc.
First of all, talk. You gotta talk.
Talk.
No matter what there is, and get rid of the rumours. Rumours kill
Talk.
everything, no matter what. Okay, what your best friend thought his wife said to him while she was listening. Hey, forget the rumours. Okay, it's all innuendos and so on, and you don't want that.
Oh, you don't watch much reality TV, do you?
No, I don't. My second point is he must have been a good instructor. but are the kids learning to swim? And my final point is, look, the reality is you've got to have a plan B. You've got to have a plan B.
You've got to have a plan B.
You've got to have a plan B.
And if you're a female in a relationship, getting out of a relationship is often because of financial ties and other business and a whole raft of other things. It's harder to get out, so you need a plan B, C, D, and E. And that's what she's planning on. So it may not be another relationship, it's just how do I get out and am I able to support myself and the family when I do it?
Take responsibility.
We asked our viewers at home, you, this question on all those social media points. Should long-term partners always have an exit strategy worked out just in case? And interesting, have a look at this, 50-50.
51-49.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about why it is that we're responsible for other things, but not necessarily for ourselves. When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour. See you then. I didn't want to say, we're going to be talking about dog food.
Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and Sour.
If you got it every day. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. We're just talking about sleeping issues. Hello there, Sweet and Sour. Can you please tell me what the mechanism is in our heads that can be switched on to make us responsible for our own crap? Oh, Jareth is playing guitar for us. Very nice. I was at the dog beach only yesterday to see many, many dog owners exercising their loved canines and letting them poop wherever. These people were all mindful to bring plastic poop bags for their dogs' droppings. Very considerate and very appropriate. What I couldn't understand is how some of these responsible dog owners did not extend the same responsibility to themselves and their own crap. I saw one man spit out some food that he had in his mouth and then just throw away whatever he was eating. Another had her kids with her and they were ripping up some plastic items with great delight and throwing them as far as they could without looking to retrieve the rubbish. What is it with us humans? We'll clean up after our dogs, but then feel entitled to drop our own crap everywhere. What's the mindset and how do we change it? Courtney of Brighton in WA. Doc, what's going on here?
First of all, Courtney, I don't agree with your statistics. I think you'll find that the people who actually leave the paper behind will probably leave the paper with the dog poo. Okay? There's always the 99% of people who clean up their poo and they'll clean up everything. It's just that 1 or 2% behind. So your survey's probably out. But it's called Tragedy of Commons, and they're written
Tragedy of
the Commons. Wow. And it's a common. If there's a common land out there, we tend to all ignore it because no one there has to look after it.
Yeah,
and
yes.
we dealt with it really well in the 60s and 70s.
Collective responsibility.
Collective. And we dealt with it really well in the 60s and 70s with Keep Australia Beautiful because littering was common to do out of the car and all that rubbish everywhere. Yeah. 60s and 70s ran a huge campaign. Don't litter. You know, would you like it in your backyard? And they'd show. So we just
and the pig. Remember the pig?
So yeah. So all we're going to do is do a media campaign and rock up with a bucket load of dog poo and dump it on the house. and anyway, yeah, that's my. So
I'll go and collect some dog poo so I can do that tomorrow. Lou.
I can give you a whole bag. We've got 3
Thank
dogs.
Thank you.
And 2 twins.
4 kids.
Well, look, I
I
think
want dog poo.
I've got bags.
You got.
I'm listening.
so
Three dogs.
thanks,
Sorry, Louane.
thanks, Harry. I was going to say,
Sorry,
well,
Lou. Away you go.
anyone that's got a dog, we pretty much have stood in poo.
We've stood
And
in
we
poo.
know that this is a very, very unpleasant thing. So we tend to pick up the poo in case this karmic thing of standing in poo happens to
Okay.
us. So
So
that's number
we've
one.
learned.
So we've learned. But number 2 with poo is that if you're at the dog beach and you see somebody else's dog do a poo, you're actually allowed to say, "Excuse me, your dog
People do
did
that
this
all the
thing,"
time.
and you'll tell.
do.
But if your kid drops rubbish. And you say your kid drops rubbish, you might get a punch in the face. So you don't actually let somebody know or bring them into the awareness that you've dropped rubbish or, you know, they've dropped rubbish or their kids have dropped rubbish. So you say nothing, but you're allowed to tell the dog off. So it's actually a really interesting. And as far as, spitting food out of your mouth, there's another animal that's going to come and eat that. There's an animal that's
Well,
going
at
to
least
come in.
it's organic and it'll be decomposing.
They're called seagulls.
Oh yeah.
But they'll
okay.
come and eat those.
I-
And the paper.
I'm
And the
thinking
pasta.
of my mate Neil. We went for a kebab the other day and we walked over this paper
Dog food.
stuff and I went to pick it up and I thought, well, I wonder what Neil's going to do. Sorry, Neil, I'm shafting you here, mate. And Neil walked straight over it. And I said to him, why did you do that? And he said, well, it's not mine. I said, but you still live here, don't you? And he goes, and walked inside. Yes, don't worry, I'm working on my mate Neil now. All right, we asked you at home, are people more responsible for their pets than they care for the environment? I'm giggling because I know what the answers are. Here you go, flashed up on the screen. 93% of people say yes, we are more responsible for our pets than otherwise, than the environment. Okay, who's up next? Suzie.
Well, I wanted to say I was going to talk about Keep Australia Beautiful, because do you remember as kids you drive up, do that really stinking hot drive in an unair-conditioned car up to the hills, you know, I don't know if you did those Sunday drives, and you'd be coming back and people would be just chucking all their rubbish out. Like, it was just disgusting. I think it's basic responsibility. I actually think it's respect. And look, we do have 3 dogs, and I agree with Louane. You stand in dog poo, you don't want that to happen. I don't know, if someone...
But you also looked after your 4 kids and you picked up after them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but
did you teach them to do the same?
Yeah, I think so, but I taught them a whole lot of things they don't do. So, you know, they're older now, and I don't reckon they will do...
Are you proud of your kids?
Yeah.
Do they pick up after themselves?
Oh, what? Out in the street?
Out in the street?
Probably, but in the house, no bloody way.
Well, that's a different
They don't do
thing.
anything.
You've taught them that.
Oh, like I taught them how to do a whole lot of things, but they don't do it.
Oh, Harry, last word on this one, sir.
Look, I've got a lot of love for anyone that picks up a steaming hot poo in one of those bags and they put it in their pocket.
What?
Are you serious?
Are you
In a plastic
serious?
bag.
I've seen it.
What,
I've
is
in
seen
a
it from
it.
plastic
little
bag.
chihuahua
Oh,
or
no.
something? It's not our
I've seen.
Labrador,
Look, I can understand in winter when it's cold, but in summer, oh
A
my
steamer.
God. I mean, that's true love.
That is not.
It is. I have.
Who's that idiot? What beach are you on?
No, walking around the river. But you know, look, the same thing. And it is when they need like a dog ferry or something that goes around and picks up the poo. Like maybe employ
But
someone
they
to do
don't
it.
need to because people are
Well, they
picking it
should,
up.
but they don't because look, they're like minefields all around there. You just step.
Peter's going, nah.
There's so much
Hang on.
No.
There is.
Yeah,
No
oh,
way.
yeah.
You would never walk barefoot around the river.
Outside my house in
That's
South
it.
Fremantle, dog poo. You know, the dogs...
That's the problem. It's in South Fremantle.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk
hang on.
away?
I'm sending it to Swanbourne. I'm picking it up in yellow bags, putting it in my pocket, warming it up and dropping it off.
Getting it back to the rubbish, what I try and do whenever I walk around and I see a piece of rubbish, I pick it up because my philosophy is if I pick up one piece of rubbish, that's one less piece of rubbish in the world. And if everybody did
Good for
that, it
you.
would make a big difference. I would have picked up that wrapper. Neil, you're a very bad man.
Bad boy. He didn't have to. I picked it up.
It's not that much rubbish like it used to be. It's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, it's not that. I don't see
Well,
rubbish
I hope you're
around.
right. I don't know whether that is right.
You've got to be at a busy day and an event, then you see the
Oh,
mess
an
afterwards.
event, I tell you that football is one of the classic ones. People just leave all their rubbish. I'm picking up our rubbish, put it in the bin after the
like West
football.
Coast memberships or something like that.
We're in the final.
We're in the final. We've got to disappear because look what they've flashed up. We've got to go. Doc, absolutely terrific to have you here, sir.
Fantastic to be back. Love it. Absolutely love
Can
it.
we have you again in a few weeks?
Yep. Coming back.
Now that your
We're
schedule's a
having
little
a
bit
break.
better.
Yeah, so we're here. We're here.
All right. You're a very hard man to catch up with, but I'm glad we've got you again. Lou,
Hello. Goodbye.
you say hello, and I said goodbye, love. We'll see you in a few weeks too.
Yes, I hope so.
Actually, it's been a pretty good panel. Maybe in a few weeks' time we'll get you all together because there's a good dynamic
Yeah.
I like you guys.
there. Oh, warm and fuzzy, warm and fuzzy. Warm and fuzzy?
Totally. Fuzzy and warm.
Oh, what
That's
a sweetheart. Okay, will you come back in a few weeks too?
I'll see how I go. I've got a busy diary. I don't know if I can fit this in.
We know. H,
Yeah, I'll
a
be
few
back.
weeks' time you'll give us a report.
Absolutely. Things will be looking up.
I hope so.
Upper.
This is where we have to wave and say goodnight
That's
to
it.
everybody.
Happy
Thanks for
birthday,
having us
Mum.
at home tonight. Thanks to all our crew members. Good night, Australia. Bye-bye.
I'm waving with my left hand.
What?
Because I read something, if you do something with your opposite hand, like brush your teeth or